everyone, and today we are talking about more Comic-Con things with my guest, NexGenStriker. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very good. I'm glad we're buddies now. Maybe pen pals? Can I hope?
So, first thing on my list to discuss, DC animated movies. And
Okay.
they're Batman Hush, Reign of the Supermen, Justice League vs. Fatal 5, Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Do you have one that you're particularly excited about?
I'd say we're probably both going to agree that Batman Hush is definitely the most hype one. That
Yeah.
was such a good comic that, I want that adapted so bad.
The problem with already loving the comic, though, is if they decide to change things, then you're going to be very, very angry.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they're going to have to change it because it's a 12-part comic, and their animated movies are typically, a little over an hour?
They'll definitely have to
So-
edit stuff out.
Yeah, which sucks because it's like Batman Hush is basically a big celebration of Batman, like everything good about Batman. Plus Superman, he gets thrashed around a little bit. So
And are these all supposed to be connected within the same animated universe? Because I think from what I read, they kind of are. Or
yeah,
not.
I was kind of wondering that too because I read it, and the way they talked about Batman Hush, it made it sound like it takes place after Reign of Superman.
Yeah, they were
Which
saying
I'm-
like it's a follow-up.
Right? I'm hoping not.
I
hope not.
really hope they're not trying to do like a DC animated cinematic universe, because that would be so awful and also kind of confusing considering we have the live action cinematic universe going on,
Right.
which also
I
is
mean-
not going good.
I mean, they have a few movies that are connected, right? So they either do them where they're completely by themselves or they're all connected together. So I'm hoping it's by itself, like its own little unique thing.
I prefer standalone movies as to trying their hardest to connect everything.
Right. I mean, if it was as good as the cartoon verse that we had back in the 90s and early 2000s, I'd be down for it.
Like,
But its qualities went down significantly since then. So
unfortunately,
right.
the worst part about having the movies connecting to each other is if you're going to go with different directors and different people working on these different things, whoever creates the movie first, and you have to follow up with that. Whatever they created, that's canon. You have to work with that. Like, you can't
Right.
change anything. So it
Mhm.
limits your creativity and your ability to write, essentially.
Right. Well, the way they were doing it with Superman Doomsday all the way up to Dark Knight Returns Part 2 is they had Bruce Timm be the producer over it. So kind of like Kevin Feige, which worked out pretty well.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah. So thoughts on any of the other ones? Any interest or any sort of predictions on them?
Well, I know that Reign of Superman is coming after Death of Superman that's coming out this year. So,
Yeah, I think they premiered it at Comic-Con, so it should be about to release officially.
Right. Apparently at the end of the Death of Superman, we're gonna have a post-credit scene for this one, so
Mhm.
gotta look out for that.
Yep.
Justice League versus the Fatal Five. If this is anything like Justice League versus the Teen Titans, then you can just blow my brains out right now.
Right.
'Cause that was
Yeah,
awful.
so what I've noticed so Flashpoint Paradox is when they started the whole animated movie universe or whatever, and every time they have Justice League, it's always the worst movie. Justice League War sucked, Dawn of Atlantis sucked, Teen Titans versus Justice League sucked. I didn't even like Justice League Dark, so for me it's every time they make Justice League, I'm just no, go away.
It's like they've lost their ability to make the Justice League good nowadays.
Right.
Even the
Yeah.
live action movie, it's no, bad.
Right.
And I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
don't
they're
know.
still gonna try to push Cyborg on the Justice League. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that.
Well, in the article, it even said, oh, who's going to appear? So they're playing with who's even going to be in the Justice League, so we
Yeah.
really don't know.
No one knows yet.
Right. And then Wonder Woman, I'm hoping that's a follow-up, actually, to the original animated film that came out, because that was super good. I really
Oh.
liked that movie.
Yeah, apparently Bloodlines is pretty vague so far. We don't really know that much about it, so there's not much to comment on it. It just depends how much you like Wonder Woman if you want to see it.
Right.
Other than that, it's just okay, stay updated.
Right. Yep. 4 movies coming out in 2019, so I hope that means that the quality stays consistent.
Hopefully. I know that DC has like a bunch of kind of crappy animated movies right now. They have like some of those DC showcases, which I think are really good.
Hmm.
I wish they would do more of those. I don't know.
Yes.
It seems like whenever they do a shorter version of what could have been a movie, it's just better.
Right. Yeah, the showcases are all... The only one I didn't like was Jonah Hex, but other than that, I liked all of them. They were all pretty good.
You want to talk about the Supergirl controversy?
Yeah, so, oh boy. So CW, not something I really keep up with, because Arrow Season 3 burned me really bad. And then after, like, I tried, I'm like, okay, maybe it's just a bad season. I watch Arrow Season 4, I'm like, nope, sucks. I'm done. So, for me, it's like, I haven't really cared enough about CW anyway, and I watched the first episode of Supergirl, and it was awful, so I didn't watch the rest of the series. So, but yeah, they're having a trans superhero in this new, I guess the new season or whatever.
Well, it's definitely a political play on their part.
Yes.
Because it's not just any transgender. It's not like a transgender actress who always wanted to play a girl character on TV or anything. This particular person is famous for suing their school for not letting them use the bathroom of their choice. So it's definitely a political play. They plucked this person out and say, hey, we're going to give you a movie part and we're going to pay you a boatload of money. And, you know, who would say no to that?
The way they're promoting it definitely seems like, it's not like, oh, here's a new superhero. It's like, oh no, here's a trans superhero. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, that's annoying when they do stuff. But, I mean, it is the CW, so I'm not too surprised. They're super about that kind of stuff.
It feels like DC is starting to fall towards the Marvel route. And I mean like the Marvel comic route, not like the Marvel entertainment route, but where they're hiring people because of their political backgrounds and they're trying to bring that audience over here so they'll get more money, I guess is the idea behind it. But
those people never consume their products, so it's like you're catering to people that never watch your stuff to begin with. I noticed that too. And actually, I've heard the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to start doing that stuff too. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
Well, have you seen like the Cloak and Dagger thing?
Oh yeah, the Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, I've heard about that.
That was cringy.
So, do you want to talk about Buffy as well?
Oh sure, we'll talk about Buffy. I will say, first of all, I was never an original Buffy fan, but I know a lot of people who are diehard Buffy fans, and obviously people aren't going to take this very well. And that's like the only thing that they've announced about the Buffy reboot, basically, is that it's going to have a black actress as the lead.
Right.
So it goes to show where their priorities are at when they're announcing these series.
Yeah. Instead of worrying so much about, you know, filling a quota, it should be more about the quality of the series. So I guess what they're doing is they're taking, because I didn't watch Buffy much myself, so I guess they're taking the Buffy main character and just making her black. Am I understanding that correct?
Basically.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't just make a new character, but whatever. I don't like when they race change stuff. I've had a couple of videos where I'm just like anti-changing things.
Yeah. So,
I mean, when people want stuff established or adapted, they want it the way it was. Like in a comic, they want the character in the comic, not the edgy 2018 version of what Hollywood thinks is cool, you know?
You see, I talked about it earlier in another video, but it seems the trend nowadays that they want to try is rather than making diverse characters popular, they're trying to make popular characters diverse so that they don't have to work as hard to actually put in good writing or something decent.
Yeah, I mean, there's a right and a wrong way. Like, Jon Stewart, Black Green Lantern, perfectly fine with that because Hal Jordan's still there.
Right.
Like, when they do stuff like that, it's like, okay, you've got more Green Lanterns. There's like 1 million of them, so who cares? It's all good. But then when you take an established character and change them, it's like, it's really just almost disrespectful to the source. And I don't feel like it does anything for that community, because it's like, oh, here's the black version of Superman. Well, great, you know? It's like if they made like a white Storm or something. It's like, oh, here's the white version of Storm. Well, no one would care because they just want Storm. So,
right.
yeah.
And I do think that it kind of discourages creativity because it prevents people from actually trying to create characters. Like you said, they're just trying different versions of the same characters because they can use the name to then gain their success.
Right.
And the
Which
diversity
really
is a plus.
it just backfires. In the end, it really just hurts them. So, do we want to talk about the DC streaming service just as a whole?
Yeah, we could. You have any, what are your top picks for that streaming service? What do you think is going to be really good coming out?
So, stuff that doesn't already exist. Young Justice, I'd say, is probably going to be the top line because they'd already written the stuff years ago, and now they're just finally going to be able to adapt it. So, anyone that likes that, it's like, they should be okay with that. Doom Patrol, unfortunately, is probably going to get the shaft because of Titans. So, it's probably going to be on that same level of bad. Because it has to exist in the same universe now. I don't know about Swamp Thing, though.
I haven't heard anything too atrocious on Swamp Thing. And the pictures seem fine, I mean, as far as animation goes.
Yeah.
That being said, we don't actually see it moving.
Right. They're going for like a horror movie kind of thing, which I'm excited for because I like scary movies.
Yeah.
So as long as it's away from Titans, I think it'll be okay. They announced Stargirl as well. Is going to get a series on there.
Stargirl. Huh.
Yep.
That's an interesting choice. Considering
like
not a lot of people know Stargirl. It's like, what?
Right.
Who's that? You're trying to sell people on this series. You do have to use some popular characters, but it is good to like also have like characters that they don't know. Maybe they can get them hooked. You know, if you're buying the streaming service, you might as well watch every show on there, type thing.
Right. See, but my thing is, I think DC really screwed the pooch on the streaming service because they've got it at $75 a year, which is ridiculous. It's mainly just old content, comics. Not all comics, just comics that they want you to read, which who knows how many that is. Which it's like probably things that go with the series they're releasing is what I'm guessing. And then it's like Titans, and that's it until 2019.
Yeah, the worst part is they're going with Titans as their kickoff for the streaming service, and already everyone hates Titans. Like, there's 2 people on Twitter who are like, "Yay!" But everyone else is like, "Oh, jeez." So
right.
It's not the best choice to be a kickoff, and I guess they were expecting to get some normies on, but normies aren't going to pay for a streaming service. If they're normies, they're only going to watch what's convenient for them.
I don't think Titans is appealing to anybody. Like, I mean, maybe if you like Batman v Superman, maybe. If you like it so dark that it's just, like, depressing and everyone dies, okay, maybe that appeals to you, but I think everyone else is just like, no.
Yeah. I still kind of want to watch Titans just so I can review it and just because there's never been a live-action Titans before, but it's like, other than that, I don't know, man. This is rough.
Yeah, and to think it's like, we could have had a good movie, we could have had a good series, but now we're stuck with this. And we go. Like, that's all we've got.
Right. Do you think Titans would have been better if they tried to make it an animated series rather than a live action?
Well, the one in the early 2000s worked fine, so if they did it like that and not like Go, I think it'd be okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely think the quality might have been raised. I mean, DC animated movies are usually very high in quality as far as animation goes, so.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Titans would have been better almost as a movie. Like, I can see it being a TV series because there's enough stuff to work with, but I feel like Titans is good enough to be a movie.
Right. I agree. I think that it's such a good team dynamic, and they're really cool characters, and you want to watch them fight, and you want to watch them do cool things, and they're also funny, so you want to watch them interact with each other. All parts of a movie, but they decided to go series route.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I just like watching them sit on the couch and hang around and watch TV. Like, those episodes from the series were so good when they were just kind of goofy. You know, like, it had a mix. I like that, so I feel like DC could have built their cinematic universe with Justice League and Titans, and then they could have had, like, the younger heroes and the older heroes. It would have been different from Marvel, so. But, anywho, let me ask you this. Do you think that streaming service is worth it?
I don't know if it is. I don't know if there's enough good that comes out of it. I would still pay for it just to watch, like, maybe one season Titans. It's probably only gonna last one season in the first place. So just like watch what you can. I would actually wait until like the Young Justice comes out. Watch as much as you can, and then like I would definitely not pay for the yearly route.
Right.
They try to trap you in the yearly so that you'll yeah. So it's probably only
just
good
get that 1 month when everything's out, and then watch it, and then be done.
Right. Watch it if you can. You might be vomiting. You might have cancer afterwards, so you might want to get a doctor to check that out.
How many episodes Titans is? I can't recall if they've said that or not.
It's a short season. I think it's only going to be like 12, 14. It's just going to be the first season. I think is just the one arc, and it's going to be a Raven arc. So I don't know if they're going to go as far as Trigon or if they're just going to be fighting Raven. Because based on the trailer, it looks like they're just fighting Raven. It's like she's the only problem right now.
Well, geez, can you imagine how bad the effects on Trigon would be if they tried to do it?
Oh, God, that would be the worst.
I mean, they can't even get the cast to look right, so I have no faith in Trigon either.
They couldn't even, like, show the Trigon eyes. They have demon Silence of the Hills type eyes. I don't know. It's weird.
Right. I don't know. It's just Titans. It didn't put faith in the brand at all.
It's a bad route. Bad road to go.
If you've lived under a rock, and this is your first day on Earth, and you have money, and you're like, oh, look at all this comic book stuff. Sure, $75. Because it's all these movies and TV series. But, like, if you've grown up watching this stuff at all, you're buying comics, and you're buying Titans. And that's an exclusive merch, if you even care about that. So, that's basically it.
And if you have, like, experience on the internet, you know that you can probably get it for free if you hack enough. So that's the worst part. People are going to be buying this streaming service, and then they're going to be uploading it all legally. And they're going to have tons of copies. DC is not going to be able to delete them all. So.
Right. Yeah, do you remember when Daredevil first came out? That was like, what, the most pirated series or something like that?
It was something like that. Daredevil was good, though. Daredevil was very well done. I think that's like the only Marvel series that was well done. Because I know that S.H.I.E.L.D. was like kind of cringy. And what else did they have? DC has so many series. I didn't even notice until I started thinking about it. But yeah.
Yeah, it really does. I kind of wonder though, like, are they going to put the CW stuff on the streaming service, or are they going to keep it on CW only?
That's a good question. What it sounds like, they're going to try to put as many of their stuff on the streaming service as they can, just to make it look like a full service. Because it's not Netflix, obviously, but they gotta make it look like it's worth it, you know? I know that they already put, like, all their movies on there, so.
I wonder if they'll cycle through the content like Netflix does. Like, oh, in January, Batman Beyond is going away, but Superman All-Star is coming out.
Oh, God, that's awful. I hate that. It's the worst.
Alright, well, I guess we're done. If you guys enjoy, I hope you check me out. I think I'm pretty cool. I don't know.
I'll leave a link in the description for the first part of our discussion, and definitely sub to NexGenStriker. He has many, many discussion videos, and he'll be following up all about Young Justice. I know that much. So if you want news on that, definitely go to this guy. 100%.
And Titans hate. I hate Titans a lot.
If you want more hate videos on Titans, go to this guy.
Yes, #1 hater.
And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Remember to like and comment below. Goodbye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Program restart.